Hey all, it is me, Insomniac Writer, and today I am going to be reviewing another movie. It's day 4. We're getting through it. And I just first like to apologize for the lateness of day 3, Monster Squad. It was a lot going on. Like I said, I got work to do and I got shit to do. So this is hard. I like to just say shout out to all the YouTubers and bloggers that continued this on when I took my little hiatus. It's hard to do this every day. But anyway, without further ado, I am going to be reviewing Shaun of the Dead. Case in point, I wanted something funny to watch. Thanks to my daughter. First of all, Yana, you're supposed to be reviewing with this with me. Where are you? You've been slipping up lately. What's going on?
Doing something.
Anyway, we're going to be watching Shaun of the Dead, and hopefully by the time this is done, she will be ready to give her take on Shaun of the Dead. I love this movie. It's fucking funny. It's hilarious. Yeah. And it got some gore in it. You can't lose. So, stay tuned. Here is Shaun of the Dead.
Ever think modern life is not for you? Do you do the same dead-end job every day?
There's no I in team, but there is an I in pie. There's an I in meat pie. So the anagram of meat is team. I don't know.
Is your love life dying on its feet?
To a wonderful mom.
Oh. Have you ever felt that you're turning into a zombie?
In a
time
Although no one is prepared to comment, religious groups are calling it Judgment Day.
of crisis,
It is vital that you stay in your homes
a hero must
and
rise
avoid all contact with the assailants.
from his sofa.
The attackers can be stopped by removing the head or destroying the brain.
Go for the head.
Purple Rain.
No.
Sign of the Times.
Definitely not. The Batman soundtrack.
Throw it.
The biggest zombie comedy in British history is invading America.
I'm coming!
And if you're looking for a man
I'm taking a shortcut before.
with the right moves,
Nice, good vocal work. Let's all try it together, shall we? 1, 2.
the right lines,
The only thing that will redeem mankind is cooperation.
and the right partner.
Ed!
2 seconds.
And hold it there.
Don't
Sorry.
call Shaun.
Oi!
Shaun.
Oh.
Shaun of the Dead.
He's my husband, you know. I still love him. I've still got the ring on my finger.
You go to bed with it?
Hello all, it is me, Insomniac Writer. Actually, Drunken Insomniac Writer today. And we just finished previewing Shaun of the Dead. This movie, like I said, is fucking hilarious. It is you're just going to find a whole lot to laugh at. It's a UK-based movie for those of you living under a rock who've never heard or seen this movie before. And it stars Simon Pegg and his partner in crime, Nick Frost, I believe his name is. And first of all, the chemistry with those two is just hilarious. It's just funny. And even if you're not into the whole zombie thing and the gore and all that other stuff, this movie is still enjoyable because it has the comedy elements. It has that whole lovey-dovey date night type of feel to it, especially when you see Shaun, played by Simon Pegg, reacting to his girlfriend and how they, are going through their stuff. And he basically, like most dudes out here, needs to grow the hell up and be more attentive to her. But likewise, it has some emotional parts in it too. It's a zombie flick, so somebody's going to die. And I'm not going to give out any spoilers, but people close to Shaun dying, you can see his emotion. And that's one thing I kind of like about Simon Pegg. He's one of those underrated actors, from the UK that you don't get to see a whole wide range of. And for the longest, I thought he would just be typecast with these types of movies, but he's actually been doing stuff in the States and doing different types of shows or films or whatnot. But not to get too far off topic, this movie is it's good. It's always been one of my faves. Even like before I got into The Walking Dead and all that other stuff, this movie right here, and I was going to save it until later, but I needed something to kind of cheer me up because I've been just in a crappy mood. This one I decided to watch because it's hilarious. Now, there's another movie with these two called Hot Fuzz, where instead of them being two slackers, they are police officers in some village outside of London. And there's a scene in that movie where Simon Pegg's character is like, so you never taken the shortcut? And you're like, we're going to go through the yard when they're trying to, run or whatever. And his character in that movie is just like flipping over all the fences and all that other stuff. Just perfect cop, the super cop. Well, there's a scene in this movie where he says the same thing. Oh, you never taken the shortcut? And he just plows. It's just hilarious. But this film definitely, if you check it out, there's at least one scene in there that you're going to just laugh your ass off. You might have to rewind it and go back and watch it again. I'm that type of person from time to time, like, oh my God, I got to see it again. I wish my daughter was here because if it wasn't so late and she wasn't, in bed for getting ready for school tomorrow, she would point out that for all you Doctor Who fans, there are several actors you might see a cameo in, because my daughter was like, oh, this person is in Doctor Who and that's the Doctor. I don't really watch Doctor Who like that. I only watched the seasons, maybe a few episodes with, I think, David Tennant, I think is his name. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But she will point out some of her favorite characters from Doctor Who or Sherlock or whatever show she watches, because my daughter watches a little bit of everything like me. Yes, a little bit of everything. Basically, like I said, there are the cameos. But as far as Doctor Who goes, that's all you're going to hear me talk about that because she's that person, not me. Now, another thing that I really adore about this movie is that all the other characters have, like, their range. You have the hysterical one. You have the so-called logical one. They have their typical roles in a horror movie. And it's just really funny. You can watch this as like a date night movie or something like that, or you can just watch it on some chill stuff. Like I said, I was just kind of being in a bummy mood anyway lately, and I decided I want to watch something funny. And even though I'm doing this horror countdown, my daughter was like, Mom, watch Shaun of the Dead. Yes. Some tidbits that you may or may not know. There are some scenes that pay homage to Romero's Night of the Living Dead from the 60s. And, I never really noticed it until tonight. And even though I've seen this movie a dozen times over and over again. I've seen it referenced in other movies over and over again. And it's so much stuff that I missed. And I'm like, oh my God. There is a line where Shaun's friend, his roommate Ed, he's like, we're coming to get you, Barbara. And it's like a homage to Romero's Night of the Living Dead because in the beginning, that's what one of the characters says to the main character, Barbara, which is the little blonde chick that got on my nerves in that movie. He says, they're coming to get you, Barbara. And there's some other little homage paid to other Romero flicks in here that I thought, oh, pretty cool. So if you are a zombie movie horror buff, a little bit more than me, obviously, you'll pick up on it. Especially if you've watched this movie more than one time and you're not really paying attention to it as hard as most people are when they haven't seen something. Excuse me. Yeah, just needed a little hit. With that being said, this movie, I don't care what kind of mood you're in. You can be in a shitty mood. You can be in a just chill mood. You can be high, you can be drunk. Watch this movie. It's enjoyable. So, you know, my day 4 movie for my October horror movie countdown is Shaun of the Dead. I had to fast forward into the 21st century because all my movies are like 80s and 90s on my list. And I said, let me pick up something that's kind of more recent. But this flick right here, hilarious, funny, smart, hip. It's just an enjoyable, outright film. I know my daughter, if she were here right now, she would be sharing some scenes, but she's not. And I was going to use my cat, who's over by the window, just asleep now, to kind of fill her space, but he's not as enjoyable or fun. A mess. So anyway, there's that. Another thing I liked about Shaun of the Dead is that it makes me not want to go to London. Because it's like, I'm from Philly, so, you know, it is what it's like, it is what it is attitude here. And London doesn't seem too different. Like, just maybe because it's a metropolitan city, a major city, but it doesn't seem too different. But not to get off topic, watch this movie. Enjoy this movie. And then when you're done, even though it's not a horror movie, check out Hot Fuzz. Because when you watch this and you watch Hot Fuzz, you are going to laugh your ass off first and foremost. And I won't even lie, I like Hot Fuzz a little bit more than I like this because, like I said, Simon Pegg as an actor and you know, and Nick Frost, they kind of developed a little bit. Even though they're still kind of typecast in the same type of roles, they go from slackers to cops in that movie. And it's just, Hot Fuzz had more like funny one-liners that I caught myself using day to day, and I'm not even a Brit, you know, it's just some things that I say. But this is like, it's like slapstick comedy. There are like fart jokes and all that other stuff. But this is definitely a movie you will enjoy. So please pick it up, check it out. You won't be disappointed. It's on my list for the October countdown for a reason. So until next time, kitties, take it easy and have a good night. And check out Shaun of the Dead.